Well, if you're trading the euro, there are a lot of things outside of the euro currency that you need to watch to make sure that you're on the right side of the trade. One of those things is bond spreads. So our guest today is Todd Gordon from Forex.com to talk to us about that. Todd, thanks for being here.
Hey, Tim. Nice to be here.
All right, so bond spreads, why is this an important thing to watch?
It's very important, and if anybody picks up a financial newspaper, you see these CDS and these bond spreads. It's everywhere, but I'm not sure everyone understands what's going on. What's happening is as countries, the peripheral countries of Europe, namely the PIGS, Portugal, Ireland, Greece, Spain, are running up large deficits, there's fear that those bonds are going to default. The government is going to make good on those debts. So what's going to happen is the market's fear increases, bond prices push down. When bond prices push down, the corresponding interest rate moves higher. So right now in the US, our 10-year bond yields about 2.5%. The German bond yields right around 2.5%. Some of those yields on those suspect countries are up around 9, 10, 11, 12%. So what's happening as the German yield remains constant, the yields on those other peripheral countries are moving higher. So it's creating a larger spread between the benchmark and the country in question. And what's happening is that's creating a relationship that traders need to realize. Currency traders are seeing the euro move lower as those bond spreads are increasing. And what's happening is that's filtering over to the equity markets. So as a stock trader, you need to be aware of the euro, which is suffering as a result of the bond yields moving at increasing rates to the German benchmark.
So how are you going to trade this? Do you have a certain level that you're looking at or a certain area that you're deciding when to get in trade?
Well, the way I approach trading is I look at it like the 3 dimensions of trading. First is intermarket analysis. You need to know which markets are impacting your traded market. So if you're trading the euro, you need to know where those bond yields and bond spreads are moving. You don't need to know by second, but if you know the latest round of data was Ireland is in a bit of trouble, so you're really seeing those bond yields tick higher. So you know if you want to be short euro, you want to see, unfortunately, those bond yields continue to spread. So just be aware, but that's the first step in the process, in the trading process, to say this market's going to impact my traded market. That's where the process begins.
So if I'm just an equity trader, what am I watching in the euro right now?
There's been a good relationship between the euro and the stock markets. It's a direct relationship. As the stock market goes up, the euro goes up. And as the stock market goes down, the euro goes down. That's been in place since 2008, and specifically about July 2008 when the Fed embarked on this historic expansion of the balance sheet. So that produced a risk aversion in the markets, meaning they're afraid of what's happening in the US. Once it filtered to the Eurozone, like we're seeing now, that created a good correlation between the euro and the stock market for the last couple of years. So if you wanted to be in the stock market, as an investor or a trader, you wanted to be in the stock market, you got to make sure that the euro isn't on the lows. The euro needs to confirm what the stock market's doing. And just recently, as Ireland has come to the fruition that become more of a problem, you're starting to see the likeliness for quantitative easing increase in the US, and this relationship between euros and the stock is starting to break apart. So we need to see if it's just a short-term phenomenon or if, in fact, we're not seeing that relationship of euro and the stock market. Something's changing right now, and we're not sure what it is, but we need to pay attention.
Todd, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Tim.
You're watching the MoneyShow.com video network.